Welcome back to another solder technique tutorial at NG's Tech. I've been contemplating whether to make this video for a while now. I finally got around to doing it, so what I want to do with this video is hopefully shed some light on some of the experiences I got when I first started with throw-hole soldering component. By no way I'm claiming to be an expert, I'm just sharing my experiences and the challenges I faced when I first started with throw-hole soldering. Like my previous SMD component soldering video, I'm using the practice kit, very cheap, bought from Amazon, and this is functionally the same kit, same like the SMD kit I previously used, but this one is throw-hole component and slightly different operation. It's using the same chip as 555 timer and CD4017BE decade counter. This is a very functional board for anyone to get started with soldering. The problem with soldering is that you see all the YouTube videos without buying the equipment. I'm just guessing a scenario. Then you can't go further. The best way to start, like any other thing, is to get started. Hands-on experience is necessary for any experience. Here you can see I am using my mobile cordless solder, soldering the throw-hole component. So the principle is this: you can see when you do solder, you have to touch the solder pad and the component, both of them, so they get some temperature. Then you melt the solder cable to them. It's not the fact that you take the cable, melt it on the solder iron, and then put the solder iron to the pad. So that's the way it can risk the oxidization. Oxidization is basically otherwise called as cold solder. Cold solder happen when the components are not adequately heated. So when the solder is melt, it basically does not associate with the soldering components. So it look like a solder from outside, but inside there will be no connection, no continuity at all. So you can risk a circuit failure with this. And I understand that at the beginning it's so frustrating that you buy all the component and you try to give as much effort as you can, then you see no outcome but failure. This is my first throw-hole component soldering, but as you can see, the other pins, not the one I'm soldering now, that looks very messy because the solder did okay, but I did not cut the the leftover cable properly because I did not have the proper equipment. But the pin I am soldering now, this is a microcontroller, the decade counter, so it does not have this extra extension of the cable, but it is soldering okay. My intention is to share my experience so that the kind of suffering I went through, you guys, and I can exempt from those suffering. As you can see, the LEDs here I have connected first, but it's really difficult to make them truly vertical. They always get one angle unequal than other. That's why I have to use this white foam under, just a cushion. It can push it upwards, which helps it to get vertical. I don't want to bend it because I saw some other video that the best way they describe is to bend the component to make it fix. But when you bend the component, it looks like that it is soldered in one side more, which is exposed to solder one side more, and other side get exposed less. I try to do some research that what is the best practice of the solder. The other videos looks that the solder should be equal. So basically the pin should be in the center and the solder should be equal, and it should be slightly conical shape along centric with the pin. So that's what I try to do, and so far it is working. And also that when you do the throw-hole component soldering, you have to keep in mind that the pins, the orientation of the pins are really important, because the polarity need to be maintained. If you connect the pin in wrong polarity, things like LEDs and diodes would not work. There is no problem with the resistors and capacitors but though the ceramic capacitor is okay, it does not have any polarity, but the dielectric capacitor has got the polarity. So you be careful for the LED dielectric capacitors and the transistors you use, because those are critical for their orientation and the polarity. So far I'm really happy with this practice board because it gave me confidence, and also I got used to with the components as well. For instance, this transistor, as you can see in this board, it is really well designed, and the orientations are marked that which pin should go where, and there are very little possibility you can go wrong with this. But keep it in mind that this is again a practice board. There could be components faulty, or if you try first time unintentionally, you can do some mistake, and obviously the plus side is that you will learn from your mistake. If you are watching this video till this point, thank you very much. But I just want to say that I'm not here to teach, but here to learn. I hope that many of you are expert in this soldering. You can recommend me in that how can I improve my soldering skills, and also that mistakes is the best way you can rectify yourself. That's what I believe. So for me to create content is like just get another opportunity to be more involved in one sector. This is the main reason I create content and I share with you guys.